Okay, this is the lesson for 8.4. It's on page 555 in your book. And look at this crazy bunch of data. So this is an example of something that somebody would type up of data that you would collect. For your science fair, you might be collecting things like this. I don't know what you'll be doing, but this was an example. Like, let's say, so they had class A, B, and C, and then they asked them where they wanted to go for their senior trip. Is that what it is? Their class trip. Yeah, senior class, 3 senior classes, see where they want to go. So then they say what class you're from and where they wanted to go, and then they gather all this information. So you might have to one day do stuff like this, and then what they do with it is right here. They tallied up everybody from class A that went to the beach, that liked beach, I mean, class B, beach was 4, and then they put the numbers. So this is just the normal. This is the frequency marginal distribution table, which is just a fancy way of saying numbers and their totals. Now, the whole lesson right here is how we use this table. So it says what location, and then to do this, you're going to find out which one is most popular, which location is least popular among all 3 classes. Okay, so the first question here says, which location is most popular among all 3 classes? So between all 3 classes, the most popular is what? Which one had the greatest number here? Which one of these was most popular? Which one has the bigger number between these 3? Beach. So according to this thing, the beach was the most popular. And then which one, and this is the funny thing, there's absolutely no point in doing the exact same table. So this is a nice question. You're just looking at this same table. Which one is least popular? Which location is least popular? Look at the same table up here. Which population? So like, see, this was the most popular right here for this one. Now which one is the least popular? Which location is the least popular? This one is the most. Which one is the least? Yes, so we would say the amusement park. And if you're going to whine about writing the whole word amusement park, then start doing the tally marks and making the whole table again. Because I'm going to say you don't have to do that as long as you write a complete sentence. So the amusement park is the least popular among all 3 classes. And then just put a smiley face in the table. Because why make the same table when we have it done right there? Would you guys agree?
I blame
Concord. Which location is most preferred by class B? That's number 3. Do you need to make a new table to answer that? So class B, so we're going to look at class B. Which one is most preferred among for class B? What one? So the water park. And so then the water park is most preferred. I don't know. That's the thing I was really confused about by class B. Like, what is the point in making the table over and over again to answer the same questions from the same table? It didn't make sense to me. Okay, and then so do you guys see how you just look at the table and answer those things? Okay, so that's good for those. Now the next question goes into a little bit more detail that you're going to need to do more stuff for. So it says, which class had the highest percentage of students prefer the water park as a location for the senior picnic?
Class B.
Which class had the highest percentage? So had the highest percentage prefer the water park? So class B, but let's talk about what percent of that class preferred class B. So we would say class, let's just answer the question, class B, and you can see that because that was the biggest, right? Water park, biggest right there. Class B had the highest. You guys are writing this down, right? Percentage. And then we're going to leave a blank in parentheses to put what percent that is. So that's the only other thing we have to add onto this. Of students prefer the water park. Okay. Okay, so let's figure out what percentage that was. Which class had the highest percentage of students prefer the water park as the class picnic? So now this is where the question is, the percent. Do we want to find out the percent to the total or the percent of the class?
The class.
Would you say the class? Okay, so then how are we going to find that percent? Yep, so you're going, and I'm going to just show my work down here. 10 divided by 16, and then we times it by 100 to change it to a percent. So 10 divided by, calculator people, 10 divided by 16 times by 100. Go. Good, 62.5% of students prefer the water park. Good. Which class least preferred the amusement park as the location? Again, I don't think you need to do percentages or anything because it didn't ask for that. But just look at the table and answer the question. Which class had the most students in agreement as to their preferred location? Ooh.
What happens if two classes are tied for not wanting to
So do you guys understand what, okay, wait, let me finish doing this and then we'll go to your question. Your question again was what?
Well, class A.
Oh, the ties. So I'm just gonna do ties right here. Okay, so which class had the most students in agreement as to their preferred location? That means that the greatest percentage was on one location and the other two were very small. Like the one that they agreed on had the biggest percent. So I'm just gonna water park, amusement park, beach, class A, class B, and class C. And then we knew from this problem that we did on number 5 that this one was 62.5%. What other one on this table looks like it might have a high percent? So see how like we had 10 here, 2 here, and 4 there. 7 is the biggest here. Those are not like the difference between see how the difference between 10 and 4, and there's 10 and 2. What other one looks like it might be a contender for this one?
The amusement park.
I would say the beach for class A. Do you guys see that? Because that's 9 and those are smaller. So let's just figure out what percent that is. So that's going to be 9 out of what? 9 out of 13. So we're going to try this out. What is 9 out of 13 as a percent? So in other words, you're going to do 9 divided by 13 times by 100. Calculator people, go. Everybody should have a calculator. You should all be calculator people.
6.92.
It was, what, wait, you did 9 divided by 13 times by 100?
Yep.
Yeah, I got 69.2.
Oh, okay. I did
Effective calculator.
So which class had the most students in agreement? Then would you say?
Class A.
Yeah, so class A had 69.2% agree on the beach. Okay, that makes sense that they had the greatest percentage of people agree. And then which class is made up of the smallest percentage of students who supported the most popular location overall on the beach? So let's see. This is 60 on the beach, right? So we're going to look at the beach stuff. Which one would have the smallest percent on beach? Which one agreed least with the beach?
Class C.
Class C. And let's figure out, and how are we going to figure out that percent? What are we going to do?
Times it by.
No timesing.
Divide it.
Divide by what?
16.
By the 16, because 16 people wanted the beach, and then the one that we agreed least was that. So then, Class C, so then we're gonna go like this, and that would be, because this was 16, so we're gonna do 3 divided by 16, and then we're gonna change it to a percent. So 3 divided by 16 times by 100. What is that percent?
18.75.
So 18.8% then. So we'll put 18.8%. And again, that was A, B, C. Total beach, amusement park, water park. And then they didn't do total. Okay, so then we would say Class C made, and then we're going to say this basically the same thing, made up the smallest percentage of the students who supported the beach location. And it was 18.8%. Okay. Right, and then there's 2 more questions in the back, and then that's the end of this thing. And then we're gonna get the review for chapter 10. And then highest percentage, so what class made up the highest percentage of the students who supported the least popular overall location? Which location was the least popular? The amusement park. So we're gonna look at the amusement park numbers, and so let me just put that down. So that was 2, 2, 7, and then together it was 11. And we want the questions asking what class made up the highest percentage of those? So what one are we gonna, what one made up the highest percentage? Yeah. And then this is amusement park. So 7 over what? Divided by what?
11.
Yep, 11, good. So 7 divided by 11, what percentage is that?
63.
So 63%. So I would say Class C had 63% of the votes that supported the amusement park. Wouldn't that be cool if you had a trip and you could choose between all these places, like an amusement park or a beach?
Yeah, because we'd have to pay for it.
Yep.
We don't-
The beach, though, you probably wouldn't have to pay for a beach if you
Yeah,
lived,
but they wouldn't let you go into the water.
if it was a senior class trip, you wouldn't have to probably pay for the beach unless you had to pay to get there, in which with us, it would be paying to get to like California or something.
Yeah, that's.
And that would be way more expensive than any amusement park or water park. Okay. And then, so then you're just kind of, yeah, there's like Raging Waters and Seven
yeah, there's
Peaks,
7 Peaks,
and yeah,
I was like, not thinking. How much would it cost to rent a whole water park?
it's a good question for the water park. Okay, and you're just going through it, so you need to do all of these, but it's not that hard. So be working on these, and you don't have to do the whole table. See how we just did the part of the table that applied to this question? So you do have to do all of these, and then I will get the chapter test review for you.